Have you ever wondered why some people in Revit can work all day with very little progress, while others can just stare in the ceiling for hours and then produce 10 times the results? And yes, I talk about the manual versus automation workers, but I want to focus on something much deeper, specifically on the difference in their mindset and thinking, because it's all about what's inside right here. Because that's what holds most people back, and that's also what helps others get ahead of the curve. So in this video, I want to talk about the 3 biggest mindset shifts that you can implement in your work. And to keep it a bit more fun and interesting, let's imagine 2 people. The first person is someone who always works manually in Revit. Let's call him Manuel. And the second person is someone who tries to automate everything. Therefore, we're gonna call him Antonio. Got it? Manual work Manuel, automated work Antonio. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you work like Manuel or Antonio. And let's start with the first one. And it's all about task versus system mindset. You see, most people are like Manuel. They come to work, take their to-do list, and they follow it blindly. Sometimes they don't even notice that they do the same task on every project every week. And they don't even realize the amount of hours they waste on the same tasks. And sadly, many accept it as the norm. And on the other side are people like Antonio. Always try to take a step back and look at the full picture. They're looking for the patterns that can be turned into the systems or maybe in automations. And that's where 10 times results are. And to start shifting your mindset, you can just take the to-do list and start identifying the most boring and repetitive tasks. And then ask yourself, how often do you do this? Is it one time, every week, 1 month? Then does it repeat in other projects, or is it only on this project? Then how much time does it take in general? And a lot of human errors can happen. And let's be honest, we humans, we suck at repetitive work. Anytime you give a task that's a very repetitive, where you have to go through all the levels, all apartments, click the same buttons, and it lasts for hours or even days, you're definitely going to make mistakes there. And it's really important to consider. And lastly, how hard would it be to automate such tasks? And based on all of these answers, you can decide the impact and severity of the task. Is it something that you have to automate as soon as possible? Is it something that would be nice to be automated? Or is it something that you can completely ignore and forget? And the amazing thing is that once you're going to recognize these repetitive tasks that steal hours day after day, your brain can't stop but wonder, how do you solve it better? And oftentimes it happens in the subconscious, where the best ideas come from. This will push you to just start looking for better tools, better systems, and how to automate it all together. This will certainly bring you to the better results. And that's why you often need to step back, like Antonio, and look for the patterns in your work. And obviously ask yourself, how can you systemize or automate it? And most importantly, why? Otherwise, you might get stuck like Manuel, always following the same steps day after day. And if you'd like to break the cycle and learn how to get started in Revit automation, then make sure to join my free live masterclass. You'll learn about your unfair advantage and how to get started the right way, which can save you a lot of time. The link is going to be in description. And now let's move to the next mindset, and it's all about short-term versus longer-term thinking. You see, we all wired for instant reward. We want it sooner, today, now, yesterday. And that's why most people never build automations. Because at first, automations rarely produce the best results. It takes time to create, refine, and implement it. However, it always brings the biggest wins in the long term. For example, let's say that we're going to give the same tasks to Manuel and Antonio. For example, manually, this task would probably take around 10 hours, so Manuel just jumps straight in and starts clicking. Antonio, on the other hand, is going to start thinking. First of all, is it even worth automating? And if yes, how long will it take? And let's say for this exercise that for the beginner, it's going to take 20 hours to automate. Manuel would laugh at Antonio for that. But most people choose manual work anyway. It's faster today, but they forget to ask, what about tomorrow? The first time, Manuel finishes his task in 10 hours and Antonio keeps working for 20. But the next week, they're going to get the same task again. Now, Manuel is going to start clicking again. This time, maybe he's going to finish in 8 hours. But Antonio, well, he's going to be done in like 20 minutes just reusing the old tool. And from this point forward, well, Antonio will start producing way better results every single time on this task. And on top of that, he can even take the Manuel's work and just do it with no extra time involved. He can also share this tool with his team and then start saving time for them as well. And that's how you can get bigger impact on productivity in your office. Do you start to see the difference? That's the power of long-term thinking. Automation doesn't always make sense in the short term, but it always brings the best rewards in the long term. So you need to kind of start shifting your mindset to long-term thinking if you want to be more valuable in your office. And also a quick note, this story is actually how I started with Revit automation. I'd always try to automate any task I would get, even if it would be longer than doing it manually. And on top of that, I didn't always finish my tools. Well, because I was just a beginner, and that's totally okay. I still learned something new every single time, and I got better at creating more tools. And this has benefited me in the long term. So don't get discouraged if you're gonna fail on your first try. You will certainly learn a lot of new things when you try to create anything. And over long enough, you will actually become really good at this. And this actually brings us to the next mindset, and it's about user versus creator. And it's all about how you approach your limitations. Do you just sit still and wait for others to fix your problems? Do you depend on Autodesk or other people in the office to provide you better tools or show you how to do your task? Or do you roll up your sleeve and actually try to make your own solution? Do you start looking around and see if there's anything or any way you can try to make it better? And as you know, most people, they're stuck in the user mode. They rely on others, and that's fine until you realize that it keeps you small and dependent. But once you switch to creator mindset, you actually change your limitations. You don't think like, well, it doesn't work. You actually start thinking, how can I actually make this work? And others actually start relying on you because now you are the one who is creating tools and solutions for them. And even if you won't always find or create a better tool, if you don't try, well, then you're definitely guaranteed to stay exactly where you are. So I would rather try and fail many times and learn from it than sit and wait for others to solve it for me. But you can decide for you. And that's pretty much the free mindset shift that you can implement. The bottom line, it's not about being smarter or using better tools, it's about your mindset. So stop thinking in to-do lists and start thinking in systems. Stop chasing short-term and think about long-term. And stop being just a user, start also being a creator. Do that and the rest will follow. And if you want to learn more about Revit automation and how to get started on your own, then be sure to join my live masterclass where I'm going to talk about your unfair advantage and how you can get started the right way. Just click the link in the description to register and make sure that you show up live to get a secret bonus. And now, happy coding, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.